Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Miguel Perez, and today we're going to talk about my settings. The inspiration for this video came from a recent update to my graphics card. I'm probably the only guy that does this, but I personally like to do a clean installation whenever there's an update. Unfortunately, these resets everything that I'm using, and I have to constantly figure out, fumble about, whatever you want to call it. I have to spend so much time trying to reset my settings back to how I used to have them. And this gets annoying after a while. But instead of writing them down on a sheet of paper like I'm pretty sure a normal person would, I instead decided to make a video on this subject. That way I have an easier time finding out what settings I'm currently using, and as a bonus, help you guys out with your experiences. In this video, I'm going to go over my settings that I'm using in Apex Legends. But me being the jack of all trades, that's not the only thing that I play. This will be a running series throughout my channel, and if you guys are interested, then I highly recommend that you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that you never miss a video. And if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and also comment down below what you guys want to see next. And if you use my settings, then please let me know. And do not forget that I live stream every single Wednesday and Sunday on twitch.tv/itsMiguel_Perez. I will leave it up on the screen and in the description box below. And now, let's get started. Alright, now let's go over my settings in Apex. Display mode is full screen, aspect ratio is 16:9, resolution is 1920 by 1080, brightness is set to 50, field of view is 110, sprint view shake is minimal, my VSync is disabled, NVIDIA Reflex is enabled plus boost, my FPS target is all the way down to 0, anti-aliasing is set to none, texture streaming budget is medium, the texture filtering is bilinear, ambient occlusion quality, please don't butcher me about my pronunciation, that's disabled, and pretty much everything else is set to either low or disabled. This makes it so that I get the most FPS, and also makes the game look a little bit better than what it is by default. Not to mention, with these settings you can actually see the shots getting fired at you, which is important. Up next are my gameplay settings. Interact prompt style is set to compact, button hints are on, crosshair damage feedback is off, damage numbers are set to stacking, ping opacity is faded, obituaries, minimap rotation, and auto cycle, those are all on, auto sprint and double tap sprint are off, incoming damage feedback, that is set to 3D, damage closes death box is on, hop-up pop-up is on, streamer mode is off, anonymous mode disabled, user sharing disabled, performance display on, club invites, those I have enabled just in case, and accessibility, I don't use a colorblind filter is what I meant to say. Subtitles are off, subtitle size normal, even though I don't really use them. Enable chat features, those are off. Convert and play incoming, those are all off. Okay, next up is my mouse and keyboard settings. Now, I just want to give you guys a heads up that I do play on an 800 DPI and a 1000 polling rate. And that's more or less just to better explain why I use certain settings. So, my mouse sensitivity is set to 2.0. That just gives me the best control over an 800 DPI. My ADS mouse sensitivity is a little bit lower, it's set to 1.2, and I do not use per optic ADS sensitivities. I just find those to be a little bit obnoxious. Everything else, mouse acceleration, mouse invert, and lighting effects, I have all of those turned off. And for my movement is pretty standard for WASD. My sprint key is my C key, my jump key, I double bound my jump key, so not only is it my space key, but it's also my scroll wheel down. So what this does is this just makes it a little bit easier to do what's the bunny hopping? To bunny hop? I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna explain it too much in this video. I'll probably explain it some other time. My crouch is on toggle and it's on my left shift key. This is my personal preference. And I can understand why people don't like having their crouch key on their left shift. But I do use Gateron silver switches, which are pretty light to the touch. So this just makes it a little bit, that makes it a little bit easier to, well, crouch spam. My tactical ability, that's set to my mouse button number 5, which are the mouse buttons that are on the side of my mouse. I use 2. My ultimate ability is set to my F key, my interact ability, my pickup and interact, I have that set to my E key, and I also have that bound to my scroll wheel up. This just makes it so that I can just walk over and pick up whatever I want. I kind of can at the moment because I have the entire thing loaded up because I was an idiot. Alright, let's try it again. So I can just scroll wheel up and I can pick up whatever I want. And if I ever want to do well, switch out any weapons, I can just press and hold the equip key. This just makes it a lot easier to grab what you need and go. Anyways, alternate interact is my B key, inventory is set to my Q key, my map is my tab, my attack is my left mouse button, toggle fire mode is Z, aim down sights, that's on my right mouse button, my melee is my center scroll wheel. In other words, it's just pushing the scroll wheel. Reload is my right. Reload is my R key. Equip buttons. Equip weapon buttons are 1 and 2. Holster weapons is 3. Grenade is V. Select health item. That's again my side button on my mouse. Everything else is pretty much set to default except for my character utility action. That is my left alt key. My quips and my thank yous are set to my 4 key. My ping is my X key. Push to talk is left control. And my message team is my enter key. And that's pretty much it for my mouse and keyboard. Next up are my controller settings. My button layout is customized. I do try to stick with the default button layout since that's what I got used to the fastest. But the one thing that I would recommend everybody does is switch your mouse buttons from your crouch and your melee. Use your right thumbstick as your crouch button and use your B button as your melee. This just makes it so that crouch spamming is a lot easier to do. My stick layout is default. Interact is tap to use and reload. Crouch button is set to toggle. Aim button is on hold. Survival stop button is on. The trigger dead zones are none. This just makes it so that once you tap on that trigger, it's immediately going to fire. No hesitation. Menu cursor speed is, well, it's set to this. It doesn't really have a number that I could read off, so just try copying it as best you can. My look sensitivity is set to 5 as my default, and my ADS sensitivity is set to 4. Per optics settings, those are pretty much all 4, except for my 6, 8, and 10 times optic. I have those set to very high, which is on 5. My response curve is on classic. This is just what I got used to the fastest. Look dead zone is set to small. My movement dead zone is small. Inverted look is off. Vibration, I have that turned off. And all the way at the bottom, which you guys can't really see, are advanced look settings, and I don't play with those. Personally, I just find those to be way too complicated, so it's better to just stick to the basics, which are all listed over here. And that's pretty much it for the controller. And finally, we have the audio settings. So the master volume is cranked all the way up to 100. My voice chat record mode is push to talk. I don't use open mic just because, well, as a live streamer, you kind of can't. Open mic threshold, that's just the standard, which is 1300. The voice chat volume is all the way to 100. Sound effects volume is 100. Dialogue volume is all the way up to 100. Music volume and lobby music volume, I have those turned off, so they're all the way down to 0. This just makes it so that your primary focus, again, is your gameplay, and the music can get kind of distracting after a while. Sound and background, I have that turned off. Play incoming text chat as speech. Man, I cannot talk today. And I'm not even gonna bother reading it. Everything else is just turned off. And that's pretty much it. Again, if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And don't forget to subscribe because I'm going to be cranking out a lot more of these kinds of videos later on in the future. And don't forget that I live stream every single Wednesday and Sunday on twitch.tv/Miguel_Perez. And as always, I will see you next time.